possess you, misuse you, or you.
Turn it up!
Matter of fact, he says you can have it all and can show you how powerful you really are. On the post show, but it might not keep you in the room for a long time. God has you in the front. It's time for you to shift your atmosphere and shift your atmosphere right now. Sometimes it's your Judas that yields your biggest blessing. And I thank God for Judas, because Judas put Jesus in a position to unlock God's endless possibilities. Preach! I'm trying to tell you, it's the Judases in your life that are working for you. It ain't your friends, it's your enemy. The seventh word from the cross is found in St. Luke's Gospel. St. Luke chapter 23, verse 46. It reads this way. And when Jesus had cried out with a loud voice, he said, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. Having said this, he breathed his last. If I had to tag this text, I would tag it, hands that I can trust. Hands that I can trust. My brothers and sisters, trust is defined as a firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. Yes, trust is a word that is often prematurely used without understanding its significance. Trust is used, but often abused. Oh yeah, but to trust someone is to have history with someone, because healthy relationships are built on trust. To trust someone is to have history with someone. And my brothers and sisters, can I tell some of you and remind many of you that you have history with God? You've got time in with God, and you have a personal experience with God. Can I suggest to you that today you can trust God? His word says he'll never leave you nor forsake you. You can trust God. His word says that my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. You can trust God. His word says he walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me that I am his own. You can trust God. While others plot and plan and scheme to work against you, God is always working for you. And is there anybody in prayer everywhere that can say anywhere, I can trust God? And I'm not trusting him just because I'm trusting him. I'm trusting him because I have experience with him. I'm trusting him because he's proven himself to me time and time again, season after season, month after month, week after week, pandemic after pandemic, Delta variants, everything going on, chaos, calamity, Ukraine, everything going in array, everything filled with chaos, calamity, and confusion. But can I tell you, you can trust God. Come on, is there anybody that can just shout for the next 5 seconds and say, I can trust God? You can trust him. And because I got history with God, I know if he did it before, he's sure enough able to do it again. It is in this Lucan text that was written to Grecian people in 33 AD that we discovered the discipline discovered and displayed in this discourse. Jesus' hands are nailed to the cross. The same hands that made mud pies and caused blind eyes to see, nailed to the cross. The same hands that took his hands and pulled Peter up out of the water are nailed to the cross. The same hands that took 2 fish, 5 loaves, and broke it and multiplied it and made a cookout in the middle of the desert, got it popping, are now nailed to the cross. I got a problem with that, because the question is, where are the people that he did the miracles for with his hands? Where's the man with the withered hand? Where's the man at the beautiful gate? Where's the woman with the issue of blood? Where's the captain of the boat that got his boat saved when Jesus said, peace, be still? I got a problem with this because the same man who used his hand to do miracles is on a cross and he can't find a helping hand. What do you do when you have given your heart and your love and your time and your resources to people who can't help you? Can I tell you what God told me to tell you? Sometimes you do miracles for people that are so big, you got to stop expecting to get returns from shot glass people. Oh yeah. Some people don't have the ability to reciprocate what you've done for them. What you saying? You gotta be careful because some people will help you today. Oh, y'all know how it go. And you won't find them tomorrow. The question becomes, what does God do when God isn't the one who gets God in this situation? It's somebody else. It's Judas. It's Judas' purpose. It's Judas' purpose. It is Judas' purpose. Can I tell you, sometimes what people think they're doing is really unlocking purpose in your life. Sometimes they think they're giving you pain, but it's really giving you power. They think it's sickness, but it's really wrapped up in a possibility to lead to success. Sometimes it's your Judas that yields your biggest blessing. And I thank God for Judas because Judas put Jesus in a position to unlock God's endless possibilities. Preach! I'm trying to tell you, it's the Judases in your life that are working for you. It ain't your friends, it's your enemies. The question becomes, what does Jesus do when his hands can't get him out of this predicament? Text says, according to St. Luke 23:46, he says, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. In other words, Jesus himself fights his knee-jerk human response to fight a battle that does not belong to him. Child of God, can I tell you something? I get it. Some of us are fighting for our mind, and we're fighting for our job, and we're fighting for our family, and we're fighting for relationships, and we're fighting for purpose, and we're fighting for our destiny, and we're fighting. But God said, this battle is not yours. This battle belongs to me. This battle is not yours. This battle belongs to God. Maybe that's why P.J. Morton said, soon as I stop worrying about how the story ends, that's when I let go and let God have his way. That's when things start happening. I started looking at back then. That's when I let go and let God have his way. Story goes that there's a little boy in the candy store, and his mama took him to the candy store. And there was the owner of the candy store on the other side of the cash register. The man looks at the little boy and says, little boy, your mom just told me you did really good on your test. Go in that candy jar and take you out some candy. The little boy doesn't move. The man says, little boy, go in there and get you some candy, man. Go ahead, get you some candy. The boy looks at his mama. Mama looks at the boy. Boy looks at his mama. Mama looks at the boy. The manager gets so frustrated that he gets up out of his chair, walks from behind the register, takes his two big hands, puts it in the candy jar, fills up the little boy's pocket so much so that the little boy, as he's walking out the store, the candy starts falling out of his pockets. When he gets outside the store, his mama fusses him out. She said, little boy, why'd you go in there and you embarrass me like that? You know I didn't raise you like that. The little boy looked at his mama with a grin. He said, Mama, his hands were bigger than mine. Can I tell you, child of God, when you understand that the situation is bigger than you, you'll give it to somebody who you can trust. These are the hands you can trust. The one that created the sun, the moon, and the stars. You can trust those hands. I heard the song say, I put it all in his hands. Whatever the burden, I put it all in his hands. Whatever the problem, I put it all in his hands. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. I put it all in his hands, and I can stand here today preaching the gospel because I put my life in his hands. And maybe I'm preaching to somebody on the other side of this screen at Prayer Everywhere, on the other side of this camera at Prayer Everywhere, to tell somebody you can trust God, because when you put it in his hands, when you put it in the master's hands, he can manage your mess. When you put it in the master's hands, he can manage your misery. When you put it in the master's hands, he can manage whatever your problem is. And I'm so glad that I put it in the master's hands, because if I would have put it in other people's hands, they would have used the same hands to pick up a knife and stab me in my back. I'm so glad that God is not blind that he can't see me. He's not deaf that he can't hear me. His arms are not short that he cannot reach me. I put it all in his hands. And I know whose hands I can trust. So that's why I can scream on a Good Friday. I can shout on a Good Friday, on a good day, to give my God good praise and say, I will bless the Lord. At all times, his praises shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make a boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad in it. Oh, magnify. Is there anybody out there who's excited about your God? Come on, raise your praise. Give him glory. Give him honor. Give him praise. I'm excited that I have hands that I can trust. Put it in the master's hands.